Hey, so I'm going on 2 listing appointments today, and the first one came to me originally from the son, so it's a dad who's selling the house, and his son. I actually represented the seller on the house, and the buyer was represented by another agent. But that buyer, I kept in touch with them by sending them information, obviously after they closed. And so then they called me and they're like, yeah, I've heard you on the radio. Thank you for keeping in touch with me. I know that you represented the seller when we bought this home, but we're looking to sell. So help them move to Alabama. And so last July, they called and they said, hey, we need your help. Our parents are wanting to move. And so I said, sure, absolutely. So I talked to them back in the summer, and the husband's like, yeah, we got a lot of decluttering to do. We've been here for a long time. I said, no problem. So I kind of just let them, kept in touch with them. Long story short, the dad called me, the seller, the sir, and said, hey, I'm ready to go to Texas. I've already, bought a house, and I'm ready to go. And I said, well, great. Happy to help you. And he said, well, my wife passed. And so, y'all, this is like another example that's right in my face of people wanting to move and then just somehow either being paralyzed by indecisiveness or whatever, just like not doing it. And then one spouse passes. And so then the other spouse is left like, so heavy. So anyway, so I went over there, met with him. We're getting everything ready to go. And so I'm going to go over there, meet with him one more time to help finalize some things and get the paperwork, basically. But, I don't know. I don't know if you guys experience this, but it's really weighs heavily on me when I'm like, man, both of y'all should have been the ones that are moving. And it turns out that it's just going to be, him move. Anyway, it just makes me sad. But then my second listing appointment is pretty much right after that. They came to me from postcards. We would send neighborhood quarterly, like, hey, here's what's selling. And we used a service. It wasn't EDM. It wasn't anything like that, or every door, whatever. It wasn't that. It was some other service, but it was a lot of money, so we stopped doing it. And lo and behold, we got somebody from it. And so they actually live in my old neighborhood where I used to live before I live where I live now. So I met with them a year ago or longer. And then they just called me and they're like, oh yeah, we've accepted a position on a state. So we are 100% moving. I'm like, cool. So I guess my point is, that guy was going fast. I guess my point is that follow up to my other videos, both of these clients that I'm listing their houses, followed up with them for at least a year, some, maybe even 2 years. So if you're not busy enough, then you're going to feel like, man, no one's ready to pop. But that's just because you don't have enough people to follow up with. Because if you had enough people to follow up with, they kind of pop at different times, if that makes sense. So you never really feel, I don't ever really feel, oh my gosh, I have nobody coming up. My standard is I always have 10 listings at any moment that could pop that I'm keeping my eye on. And that did not include these two because I don't know when they're going to pop. You never know when people are going to be ready to go. So anyway, just a reminder, follow up.